In a dark room in Naples, in southern Italy, a young and brilliant lawyer kneels before an altar surrounded by black candles. He is reciting occult formulas, ready to sign a solemn pact with the devil in his own blood. That night, he is officially ordained a priest of Satan. And yet, on October 19th, 2025, in a St. Peter's Square pact with the faithful, Pope Leo XIV solemnly declared this very same man a saint. How can a priest of the devil become a saint of the Catholic Church? This is the historical, fully documented story of Saint Bartolo Longo, an extraordinary journey that shows the infinite power of divine mercy. Bartolo Longo was born in 1841 into a deeply devout family in Puglia, a region in southern Italy. As a child, he prayed the Rosary every day with his parents. At just 10 years old, the sudden death of his mother devastated his childhood, leaving an immense and painful void in his heart. Years later, Bartolo moved to Naples to study law at the university. At the time, Italy was in the midst of the turmoil of the Risorgimento, the movement for national unification. Universities were strongly secular, anti-clerical, and hostile to the church. To fit in with his classmates, Bartolo abandoned the faith of his childhood. His search for spiritual answers quickly drew him toward the seductive world of spiritism, seances, and the occult. His initial curiosity soon turned into a full-blown obsession. Bartolo joined a secret Satanic Sect. He took part in dark rituals, imposing extreme fasts on himself to purify his body and gain what he believed were real magical powers. Shortly after, he was consecrated a priest of the sect. His main mission became driving young Catholics away from the faith. He publicly mocked the sacraments, attacked the church, and ridiculed the priesthood. His alliance with the darkness, however, brought devastating consequences. Bartolo began suffering terrifying hallucinations. Demonic voices tormented him day and night. He was struck by suicidal depression and severe paranoia that wore down his body, reducing him to a mere shadow of himself. Bartolo was now one step away from taking his own life. His physical and mental decline was so evident that a dear childhood friend, Professor Vincenzo Pepe, decided to intervene. Pepe confronted the lawyer with absolute determination. Looking at his pale, trembling face, he asked him a piercing question. "Do you want to end up in an asylum and damn yourself for eternity?" These words shook Bartolo's conscience. He broke down in tears and confessed that he was a prisoner of darkness. Pepe immediately took him to a man of extraordinary holiness, the Dominican priest, Father Alberto Radente. A grueling spiritual battle began that lasted 3 weeks. On May 29th, after a deep confession soaked in tears, Bartolo received absolution. He broke every tie with the sect for good and returned to receiving the Eucharist. Despite this sacramental forgiveness, guilt continued to torment Bartolo's mind. He constantly remembered the souls he had dragged into occultism and feared his own damnation was still inevitable. In 1872, for work related to the estate of Countess Mariana de Fusco, Bartolo traveled to the Valley of Pompeii near Naples. At the time, Pompeii was a desolate, poor, and isolated marshland. The local people lived in conditions of extreme ignorance, superstition, and spiritual abandonment. As he walked alone through the muddy fields, the weight of his past sins came back to crush him. The fear that he was still marked for hell overwhelmed him, pushing him once again toward thoughts of despair. In that exact moment of inner agony, Bartolo remembered a teaching Father Radente had once given him. Suddenly, a clear and powerful voice echoed in his soul. "If you seek salvation, spread the Rosary. It is Mary's promise. Whoever spreads the Rosary will be saved." The fog of despair vanished instantly. Bartolo fell to his knees in the mud, weeping with joy. He raised his hands to the sky and made a solemn vow to the Virgin Mary. "I will not leave this earth until I have spread devotion to your Rosary." His life had finally found its supreme purpose. He would use the same determination he once used to serve evil to build the kingdom of God instead. Bartolo immediately began teaching the Rosary to the local farmers. He understood the need to build a church, but he needed an image of Our Lady of the Rosary for public worship. His financial resources were minimal. A nun from Naples offered him an old, worn-out painting she had found in a convent. The sight of the painting left him deeply disappointed. The canvas was tattered, moth-eaten, and dirty, and the Virgin's features looked crude and rough. With no other option, Bartolo wrapped the canvas in a bedsheet, loaded it onto a cart normally used to haul manure, and brought it to Pompeii. After careful restoration, the painting was put on display for public veneration. On the very day of its unveiling, an extraordinary miracle occurred. Clorinda Lucarelli, a 12-year-old girl suffering from severe epileptic seizures considered incurable, was instantly and completely healed. News of the healing spread quickly across all of Italy, drawing immense crowds of pilgrims. The most famous miracle linked to this image took place in 1884. A young woman named Fortuna Agrelli was on the verge of death from terrible suffering. Doctors had declared her case completely hopeless. Fortuna and her family began praying intensely before the image of Pompeii. During her prayer, the young woman received a vision of the Virgin Mary, seated on a luminous throne with the Christ child. The Madonna spoke these words to her: "You have invoked me under many titles, and you have always obtained graces. Now, since you have called me by the title I hold so dear, Queen of the Holy Rosary, I cannot refuse the favor you ask of me." The Virgin instructed her to recite 3 novenas of petition and 3 novenas of thanksgiving. Fortuna obeyed, praying for a total of 53 days. The very next day, her total and medically inexplicable healing was confirmed. This event gave rise to the famous 54-day novena, still recited today all over the world for impossible cases. Around the Marian shrine, Bartolo Longo carried out an immense work, founding the entire town of New Pompeii. He married Countess Mariana de Fusco in order to administer their vast charitable works together. By shared choice, and out of a deep desire for consecration, the couple chose to live their entire marriage in complete chastity. Together, they invested their personal fortunes to give shelter to society's most abandoned. Bartolo built orphanages, trade schools, and workshops. He carried out a work that was revolutionary for its time, one of the first refugees in the world for the children of prisoners. Defying the scientific prejudices of the era, which held that criminals' children were genetically destined to a life of crime, Bartolo proved that love, education, and prayer could shape honest, faithful citizens instead. Bartolo Longo devoted every ounce of his energy to promoting the Rosary and caring for the poor. He died on October 5, 1926, at the age of 85, clutching his rosary beads in his hands. His last earthly words were, "My only desire is to see Mary, who has saved me and will save me from the clutches of Satan." His solemn canonization, presided over by Pope Leo XIV on October 19, 2025, stands as the definitive confirmation that no soul is ever lost forever if it entrusts itself to the maternal protection of Mary. Saint Bartolo Longo left the Church an extraordinarily powerful prayer, recited by millions of the faithful through life's darkest storms. Let's write this powerful invocation in the comments, to unite our hearts in one great chain of faith. O blessed Rosary of Mary, sweet chain that binds us back to God, you are our fortress in moments of darkness. May God bless us all.